this video, I'm going to show you how you can achieve this full voluminous set regardless of if your client has thin sparse lashes as seen here. Most people think that you can't achieve that with thin and sparse lashes, but even though it makes it a little bit more difficult, you can still do it. If you're interested in knowing the tips on how I achieve it, then keep on watching. So the first struggle of the lash set, if your client has thin and sparse lashes, is taping down those bottom lashes. So what I do is I use my middle finger to slightly push down the lower lash line so I can expose those bottom lashes flat, and then I would put the gel pad on top easily. And then of course there's going to be baby lashes that we didn't catch with the gel pad. We're just going to do the same thing and gently tape down those bottom lashes with a thinly cut pain-free removal tape. And once I feel like every single bottom lash is held down, I would like to adjust the outer corners. So I would hold down the inner to middle piece of the gel pad and then just gently shift the outer corner outwards. And now that we have the foundation all set, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the lash map. So with this client, she wanted an open eye, which means that the center of her eye is going to be the longest length. And how I find the center of the eye is I ask the client to open up her eyes and I would draw a line right where her pupil is when the client is looking straight up. And that's gonna be the longest length, which is going to be 11 in this case. And of course, you do want to avoid using too long of lashes, especially for a client whose lashes are already thin. My rule of thumb is to use no more than 2 millimeters in length longer than their natural lash. And I do want to note that I like using volume lashes over classics, especially for thin and sparse lashes, not only because it looks more full, but because I actually think that it's healthier for the natural lashes. I'm gonna explain it later on, but first let's prep the lashes. This step is super important. Cleaning the lashes, removing the excess oil and dirt, making sure that the lash is squeaky clean so that the glue can adhere properly to the natural lash. It's especially important because our client's lashes are thin here. There's not as much surface area for the glue to latch onto compared to a thicker lash. So that's why I spend extra time on cleaning. Okay, so onto the actual lashing part. One of the key differences of what we do for thin lashes is you want to make sure that the volume fan, the stem of the volume fan has to be a lot longer. So in this case, as you can see, the volume fans, the stem takes up half of that fan, and then half of the fan is where the lashes start spreading out. So you want to make sure that the stem is long because that increases the surface area of where the glue is attached to that thin lash. Typically with thin lashes, the surface area of where the glue is attached isn't as much as a thick lash. So that's why the retention typically isn't as great with thin lashes. But if you increase the length of the stem for that volume fan, it helps a lot with the retention. So when you're creating your volume fans, you want to make sure that your volume fan looks more like a Y rather than a V-shaped fan. Now we have 2 tips to start building the density of this lash set. So the first one obviously is to fill in every single lash. Even if it's a super thin or smaller lash, you can actually make the fan 2D and that would be okay. The next tip that I have is that within each lash map section, you can actually add shorter lash fans in the section. So for example, here, this is the 10 section. I'm gonna add some shorter lash fans, which are 9s. And then within the 11 section, you can add some 10s. And then of course, with the 9 section, you can add some 8s. So you would go down in length, and what that does is it allows you to make a larger fan. Because you're going down in length, that fan is already going to be lighter, so that allows you to make your fan larger. So instead of a 4D fan, you can upgrade to a 5D fan. Instead of a 5D fan, you can upgrade to a 6D fan. So that's how you can add density to the set without adding extra weight and without taking away from the length of what your original lash map is. As long as you have those lengths within the lash map, you have the 10s, 11s, 10s, and 9s, and then in between is where you actually add the shorter lengths with the larger fans, and then that's how the density is built. I do find that thin lashes are a bit harder to isolate compared to thicker lashes, just because sometimes you can't tell if they're two natural lashes stuck together or if it's just one natural lash because they are on the thinner side. And one of the methods that I like to use to help with isolation is the tape back method. What I do is I tape back those fans that are already done and then expose the natural lashes that still need isolation. With this method, the tape can get a little sticky, so for thin lashes, you want to really make sure that the tape that you're using is in a very thin strip, and then secondly, it has to be pain-free removal tape. This is pretty important for thin lashes because if you don't have a thinner tape that is less sticky and pain-free removal, then you might actually snag some of those volume fans that you work so hard on off from those thin lashes. As for the type of lashes that I use, I like to use 0.06 mm or less for thin lashed clients. I tend to avoid using classic lashes, one because it would look super unnatural to have such a thick diameter lash on someone who has thin lashes. And not only that, but I also think that classic lashes over time, when they start growing out, they start to go in the wrong direction. So they'll start swaying to the right or left, whereas if you have a volume fan, as long as the volume fan is symmetrical, they don't really sway right or left as much as a classic lash does. And two, I tend to find that classic lashes are much too heavy and it weighs down on the thin lashes too much. And lastly, of course, the reason why I like to use volumes over classics, especially for those with thin lashes, is because it actually helps fill in all the sparse spaces that the client has. Not only that, it's when their lash falls off, it doesn't really look like there's a huge gap. Compared to classics, if the lash falls off, there will be a huge gap there. So here's the final result of transforming thin and dense lashes to a volume set. If you liked watching this video and you want to see more from me, just give me a thumbs up and subscribe. See you in the next video.